Hey there, travel enthusiasts, or should I say, travel masochists. Before you even think about booking a trip to Morocco, stop, just don't. With all those chaotic markets, overwhelming flavors, and sunsets that are basically too perfect, yeah, it's honestly too much to handle. You're gonna need a vacation from your vacation. And nobody wants to unpack twice. Trust me, I'm a professional avoider of awesome things. So unless you're into vibrant cultures, breathtaking landscapes, and experiences that'll make you actually use the word magical unironically, steer clear, friend. Steer very, very clear. Okay, let's talk about the cities. Morocco is a country that seems to have been dipped in a palette of the most vibrant colors imaginable. From the moment you step into any of its cities, you're greeted with a riot of hues that can be both exhilarating and overwhelming, or as I like to call them, sensory overload central. The markets, or souks, are a perfect example. They are bustling with activity, filled with the aroma of exotic spices, the chatter of vendors, and the sight of colorful textiles and crafts. It's a feast for the senses, but sometimes it feels like too much. Do you like boring gray cities? Thought so. If you're someone who finds comfort in the monotony of concrete jungles, then Morocco might be a bit of a shock to your system. The cities here are anything but dull. They are alive with color and culture, which can be a bit jarring if you're used to the muted tones of modern urban life. So obviously Morocco isn't for you. I mean, Chefchaouen? This city is a prime example of Morocco's love affair with color. Known as the Blue Pearl, Chefchaouen is famous for its blue-painted streets and buildings. It's like stepping into a dream, where every corner you turn reveals another shade of blue. It's just a giant blue dream. The entire city seems to be bathed in a serene, calming blue, which is said to symbolize the sky and heaven. It's beautiful, no doubt, but if you're someone who prefers a more subdued color palette, it can be a bit overwhelming. Literally, the whole city is blue. From the walls, to the doors, to the steps, and even the flower pots, everything is painted in varying shades of blue. It's a photographer's paradise, but for someone like me who prefers a bit more variety, it can feel a bit much. Who needs that much whimsy in their life? It's like living in a fairy tale, which sounds great in theory, but in reality, it can be a bit too whimsical for everyday life. Sometimes you just want a bit of normalcy, a bit of gray to balance out all the color. It's like walking through a cotton candy cloud. The streets are narrow and winding with blue-washed walls that seem to glow in the sunlight. It's a surreal experience, almost like walking through a dream. But dreams can be exhausting, especially when they're this vivid. That's someone spiked with architectural genius. And Marrakech? This city is a whole different kind of sensory overload. Known for its vibrant souks, ancient palaces, and stunning gardens, Marrakech is a city that never sleeps. It's a place where history and modernity collide in the most colorful way possible. Yeah, who needs all those vibrant souks, ancient palaces? The souks of Marrakech are legendary. They are a maze of narrow alleys filled with stalls selling everything from spices to jewelry to carpets. The colors, the smells, the sounds. It's all a bit much for someone who prefers a quieter, more subdued shopping experience. And rooftop cafes with sunset views that belong on postcards, not in real life? It's exhausting. The rooftop cafes offer stunning views of the city, especially at sunset. It's the kind of view that takes your breath away, but also makes you long for the simplicity of a quiet evening at home. I mean, how am I supposed to maintain my jaded cynicism when I'm surrounded by so much beauty? It's hard to be cynical when you're constantly surrounded by such stunning scenery. The beauty of Morocco is undeniable, but for someone who thrives on a bit of gloom and doom, it can be a bit too much. When I'm surrounded by so much beauty, the landscapes of Morocco are just as stunning as its cities. From the rolling dunes of the Sahara to the rugged peaks of the Atlas Mountains, the natural beauty of this country is truly breathtaking. But again, it's a lot to take in, especially if you're someone who prefers a more muted environment. And don't even get me started on Fez. This city is like a living museum with its ancient streets and historic buildings. It's a place where time seems to stand still, and every corner you turn reveals another piece of history. It's like stepping back in time. The streets of Fez are a labyrinth of narrow alleys and winding paths. It's easy to get lost, but that's part of the charm. Every twist and turn reveals something new and unexpected, from hidden courtyards to bustling markets. With its labyrinthine streets and ancient tanneries. The tanneries of Fez are one of the city's most famous sights. They are a testament to the city's long history and its enduring traditions. The smell can be a bit overwhelming, but it's all part of the experience. You might get lost, but hey, at least you'll smell interesting. Getting lost in Fez is almost a rite of passage. It's a city that invites exploration and rewards those who are willing to wander. And yes, the smell of the tanneries might linger, but it's a small price to pay for the experience of stepping back in time. Oh, you wanted flavor? Sorry, in Morocco, your taste buds might actually explode. From slow-cooked lamb tagines that melt in your mouth to street-side mizmen dripping with honey. It's just cruel. And the spices. Don't get me started on the spices. They're like fireworks for your senses, but in a good way. Which is bad because we're trying to avoid good things here, remember? Who wants to eat like royalty for the price of a coffee back home? Definitely not you. Because then you'd have to admit that your local kebab shop is seriously subpar, and nobody wants to hurt a kebab shop owner's feelings. Okay, let's talk about nature. Specifically, let's talk about Morocco, a country that seems to have taken the phrase, variety is the spice of life, a bit too seriously. Because apparently, Morocco decided to be greedy and have it all. Deserts? Check. Mountains? Check. Beaches? Check, check, check. It's like a buffet of natural wonders, and Morocco is the overachiever who piles everything onto one plate. It's like the country's showing off. Imagine being a neighboring country and having to deal with Morocco's constant bragging. Oh, you have a nice beach? Well, we have beaches, mountains, and deserts. Sand dunes that glow at sunset? Nope. That's just Morocco being extra. It's like the country is saying, look at me, I'm fabulous. And you can't help but agree. Waterfalls in the middle of nowhere? Pass. Seriously, who needs a hidden oasis when you can have a simple, predictable river? But no, Morocco has to have these stunning waterfalls that look like they belong in a fantasy novel. And mountain villages with views so good they look fake? Oh, what a nightmare. It's like living in a postcard. Imagine waking up every day to a view that looks like it was photoshopped. How exhausting. Stick to your local park, where the most exotic wildlife you'll find is a squirrel with a gambling problem. At least there you know what to expect. No surprises, no dramatic landscapes, just good old-fashioned normalcy. And don't even get me started on the Sahara Desert. It's like the diva of deserts. Oh, you think you've seen sand? Think again. The Sahara is not just any desert, it's the desert that all other deserts aspire to be. It's just sand, right? Wrong. It's sand with an attitude. The kind of sand that makes you want to write poetry or question your life choices. It's mesmerizing, hypnotic, and a little bit intimidating. It's like stepping onto another planet. A planet where the landscape is so surreal you half expect to see aliens having a picnic. It's otherworldly in the best possible way. A really, really beautiful planet that will make you question your entire existence. It's the kind of beauty that makes you feel small and insignificant, but in a good way, like, wow, the world is so big and I'm just a tiny part of it. So next time you think nature is being dramatic, just remember, Morocco is out there setting the bar impossibly high. Now, let's talk about the people. Morocco is known for its rich culture, stunning landscapes, and most notably, its incredibly friendly people. But let me tell you, the kindness here is on another level. Because if there's one thing I can't stand, it's kindness. I mean, who needs that much warmth and hospitality? It's almost like they're trying to make you feel at home or something. Yeah, I know I'm a monster, but seriously, the people here are so nice that it's almost suspicious. You walk down the street, and everyone greets you with a smile. It's like they've all been trained in the art of friendliness, prepared to be greeted with smiles and mint tea everywhere you go. The moment you step into a shop or a home, you're offered a cup of mint tea. It's their way of saying, welcome, stay a while. And trust me, you will. Who even wants that level of hospitality? It's like they're trying to make you feel like a part of their family, and it doesn't stop there. They'll go out of their way to make sure you're comfortable and happy. It's like they're trying to make you feel welcome or something. You ask for directions, and instead of just pointing you the way, they'll walk you there. They'll even introduce you to their friends along the way. Honestly, Morocco needs to chill with the kindness. I'm just trying to buy a lantern, not make friends for life. But no, the shopkeeper insists on telling you the history of the lantern, offering you more tea, and asking about your life story. I'm just trying to buy a lantern, not make friends for life. And don't even think about asking for directions. They'll probably invite you over for dinner, introduce you to their entire family, and then insist you stay at their place instead of your overpriced riad. It's exhausting being this loved. But in all seriousness, the warmth and hospitality of the Moroccan people are truly something special. It's a testament to their culture and their way of life. So while it might be overwhelming at times, it's also incredibly heartwarming. And who knows, you might just leave Morocco with a few new friends and a lot of great memories. You're telling me there are ancient cities, UNESCO sites, snake charmers, and music festivals all in one country? Sounds exhausting. Stick to places with absolutely zero personality, like, actually, I can't think of anywhere more boring than that. But seriously, Morocco is bursting with culture. From the intricate mosaics of the Hassan II Mosque to the hypnotic rhythms of Nawa music, you'll be bombarded with beauty and history at every turn. You'll probably learn something new, which is always dangerous. Next thing you know, you'll be practicing your Arabic, haggling for rugs like a pro, and considering a career change to become a professional belly dancer. Seriously though, Morocco is just too beautiful, too flavorful, too warm, too alive. Do yourself a favor, and definitely never ever visit. You'll just end up having the trip of your life, and who needs that kind of hassle? I mean, who wants to come back from vacation feeling refreshed, inspired, and full of stories? That's just asking for trouble. But hey, if you accidentally find yourself in Morocco, don't say I didn't warn you. Subscribe for more places you should definitely avoid. Spoiler alert, they're all amazing.